Mapo tofu is a dish from the Szechuan region. The core ingredient is tofu, and if you translate Mapo, it actually means old lady with spots on her face. And I think the dish gets its name because once you mix the pork with the tofu and stir fry it together, there's little speckles throughout the dish, I think. Anyway, we're going to go with that story. It's also a Szechuan dish because the prominent chili in that area is the Szechuan chili. Now, this has a numbing sensation on your tongue when you cook it. It's absolutely delicious. I'm going to be using two varieties of chili in this dish, the dried Szechuan chili and also some fermented chili bean paste. Now, I've been preheating my wok. I want it to be really hot. We'll add some vegetable oil to this, 1 tablespoon. Just swirl it around the sides of the wok. And now we'll add our pork. Now you only need a small amount of pork mince for this because the hero here is the tofu. So just crumble it in your fingers and then I'll give that a toss in the oil. Now while that's cooking, I'll just prepare some garlic and some chili. Just going to thinly slice the ginger. This is really young ginger, so I'm going to add a little more to it because it's not as spicy. It's a bit more floral. Then what I'll do is just pile them into a few bundles and then thinly slice them into strips. It seems like quite a lot, but once you mix all of this ginger with the fattiness of the pork and the chili, it'll go quite nicely together. Now for the garlic, 2 cloves of garlic, and I'll just crush that and then just roughly chop it. All right, we'll put them both together. Now I'm going to prepare the noodles. So I'll place my Hokkien noodles into the bowl. I've been heating up some water. So I'll just bring that hot water over and then we'll just submerge these noodles in the water. Now back over here, we'll just toss the meat. Oh, have a look at that. See how it's super crispy? That's what we're looking for. I want the crunch on the pork mince. We'll keep tossing that. Now I'll add the ginger and the garlic. Just need about another teaspoon of oil. And then again, give that a really good toss. Oh, it smells good. Now in here, I've been crushing some dried Szechuan peppers. Now in regards to how much chili you add, well, it really depends on how much you can handle. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm going to add just a pinch, about 1/4 teaspoon. And while that's cooking away, let's talk about sauces. So this is fermented chili bean paste. It's used quite a lot in Korean cooking too. I love the taste of this. It's got a real umami flavour to it and it's not so spicy. We'll add some sugar along with some Shaoxing wine, which is just some Chinese cooking wine, and then some dark soy. Now with the fork, we'll just mix all of this together. Now that that sauce is prepared, we'll pop that to one side. We'll bring in this tofu and then to thicken up the sauce, a small amount of corn flour with just some water. I'll mix that and we want to leave that to the very last minute. Right, let's have a look at these noodles. I'll just get some tongs and then loosen them up. See how they just come apart so easily? Fantastic. All right, let's finish this dish off. Some stock into the pork mixture. Just a few tablespoons to moisten it. Now we'll add our chili sauce. And again, give that a toss. And now for our noodles. So a large amount of them can go in. And then finally we can add the tofu. Now because this is silken tofu, it's not a firm tofu, it will break up quite significantly. So just break it with your fingers and then into large chunks. So when I start tossing it, it will break up. What you don't want is for this to become a puree. So do leave these in chunks and then start to toss this. Oh, look at those colours. So because we've left it in chunks, you can see that it's not breaking up too much. All right, I'm loving the look of that. Now just to thicken and glossen up the sauce, we'll add our corn flour mixture and then some spring onions just at the last minute so they're still quite crunchy. The white parts, 3 or 4 of them, and then I'll just cut them on an angle. And then in they go. And have a look at this texture. See how it's broken up nicely here, and then they've got some chunky bits. It almost looks like custard. I love silken tofu. All right, let's toss that. Yum. Oh, done. Heat off a large bowl, and just with these tongs, I'm going to serve it up. I'll just delicately start with a big chunk of tofu, and then we can go in with our lovely Hokkien noodles, some of that pork mince. If you love chili, you are going to love this dish. It's got 2 varieties of chili in it. And for those who don't like tofu, you'll actually like this dish because it's taken on all those gorgeous chili flavors. All right, I'm gonna have a taste of this. Oh wow, that is such a nice dish. And I got a bit of that tofu there that's taken on the chili flavor. It's so yummy. It's almost custard-like in texture. This is Chinese street food at its best. I love this, and I love the addition of the Hokkien noodles.